The internet will be out for weeks if this solar storm hits Earth, and they calculated the odds that it will. The last time we had one this big was in 1859, known as the Carrington event, and it caused some shit that humanity has never seen before. And if that ever happens again in the 21st century, it would be 100 times worse. These solar storms are basically just supercharged EMP devices, electromagnetic pulse, meaning they destroy electronics and wireless communication. But we didn't have much electronic and radio wave technology back in 1859, so most people were in the clear. Nowadays, well, pretty much our entire lives revolve around electricity. Just try to imagine all power in your home, cell phone towers, internet, credit card systems, out for weeks or even months on end, but how likely is it? These phenomena are also known as CMEs, coronal mass ejections, which is just the sun violently spitting out plasma from its surface from all the buildup of energy it produces. This deadly plasma travels through space and can sometimes end up hitting Earth, coming in many different levels. First, we got solar wind, which is just the everyday radiation our sun produces at all times, which is mainly deflected by Earth's ionosphere. A few stray remnants of this plasma that make it past the magnetic field get sent to the openings in the north and south poles where they create aurora borealis, the northern lights. If we crank it up just a notch, we get solar storms, the first stage of a CME with a much more powerful effect on our planet, but not nearly as bad as what we got coming. If the magnetic field of the stage 1 plasma ejection is aligned just right when it hits us, it merges with Earth's magnetic field and stretches our atmosphere out from its force of energy, eventually reaching a tipping point where it snaps back and hits our planet like a rubber band. This creates a geomagnetic storm, which does absolutely nothing to organic matter like you and me, and is how life on Earth has been able to survive thousands of these storms throughout the ages. But for all wires on Earth carrying electricity, generators, and even wireless communication signals, it's a complete meltdown. The energy produced by this storm can completely shut down our power grids or even cause them to overload and blow up. And this actually happened in 1989 when it caused complete power grid failures in places like Quebec. These we can deal with. But then we crank it up again. Solar hurricanes, which are just CMEs at a much higher category level. Last one that hit us was in 1859, and it actually had some pretty devastating effects on the little bit of technology that we had back then. Called the Carrington event, it lit up the sky so much at 1 a.m. that people thought the sun was rising, and it produced aurora borealis as far south as Colombia. As for technology, telegraph machines, you know, those things that go boop 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 for communications, just burnt out and fully fried all around the world, shocking users that tried to use them, causing sparks to fly out of them and even fires in telegraph lines. But this was pretty much all we had back then on a mass scale for electronic technology. So just imagine that, but spread into pretty much everything you use every single day. Electric power grids, cell phone towers, air traffic control, internet lines, credit card networks, servers, everything would go offline. But that shouldn't be a problem, right? Can't we just boot everything back up once the storm passes? Not quite. The strength of these geomagnetic waves and solar hurricanes does more than just cause a blackout. They quite literally completely fry anything that has electricity running through it and renders it unusable. A solar hurricane of this scale in this day and age is estimated to cause upwards of $2.6 trillion of damage in the US alone, with an estimated 4 to 10 years just to replace all the damaged systems all around the world, and a few months or weeks at best to get the basic necessities back up. And we actually did have a Carrington event-sized solar hurricane heading straight towards Earth back in 2012, if anyone remembers that. It just barely missed us by 9 days, which might seem like a lot, but is just a hair away on the planetary scale. The next one is inevitable, as solar hurricanes like these are just bound to happen every couple hundred years due to sheer probability. They've happened all throughout history, with events reported in 774 AD, 1052, 1279, 1582, among others. But we didn't have any electronic technology all those times, so all it did was light up the sky. The next one will be the first one we experience in the age of electronic technology, and there's no telling what's gonna happen. On average, the probability of a serious solar storm hitting us on any given year is about 4%, with a 0.7% chance of a Carrington event level solar hurricane from happening. I mean, it's not 0%, but that's not so bad, right? Well, every 11 years, the sun enters a period of peak activity called the solar maximum. During this time, the odds rise to 28% for a severe storm and 4% for a Carrington super hurricane. And the next time our sun enters a solar maximum, 2025, so get ready for that, Johnny boy. If we extrapolate that data over a longer period of time, we see that there's a 50% chance that the big one will hit us by 2070. Would you be ready to go months without internet? I don't think anyone is.